Pioneer was actually the second song we wrote together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a super old one. Because that's the thing is that I feel like only recently has anybody even like recognized our name anywhere, but we've been a band for like
a really long
6
time.
years. We started in 2014. I mean, and like it wasn't just like I have a band now. I made a Facebook page. I have a band. It was like we're performing and like doing gigs and stuff. And it's only been in like the past year or two that I feel like people kind of know who we are.
He's seen her many times before, but never let his heart explore. I listened to our first album for the first time in a really long time in its entirety and was just kind of thinking about, where we were with that one and what inspired us to write those songs and how those songs made me feel. And then I started thinking about this new one, and I think for me it's just more mature in a lot of different ways. I think musically we matured a little bit,
better,
I would say. It's also just a little darker.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier. It's a heavier, like it's more, I feel like the Pioneer is very much like
the last song on the
springtime.
Pioneer is called Low Tide. That's kind of like a hint at what's to come in the summer. But if you are brave and you're strong of will and you have a little time to kill.
The Pioneer, what? To me, the Pioneer is like really, it sounds like being in your early 20s, because that's how old we were when we were doing it. Right. It's like this like hopeful but uncertain about stuff, and like the things we're talking about, I mean, like it deals with like stuff like past relationships
and new relationships.
And new relationships and like, kind of figuring stuff out. And then the second album is very much, at least for me, what it feels like to be in your mid to late 20s, which, there's songs on there about growing up with social media. And then there's like a song about like, having to pay your house payment and have a job and like, not having
depression
any
and
money.
anxiety.
There's one about depression and anxiety. And, so it's just about like different stuff. I feel like when for me at least,
it's more mature.
Yeah, part of my story, is like, you get into your late 20s and like, a lot, you realize a lot of things about your life and just like the general workings of everything. And so
just us and you and me.
Yeah, man, made it.
A little bit. Thanks. Just fine with these holes in my shoes. I even look like I belong in a $20 suit. You talk to me like we're the same. You even call me your brother. But take a look around here. One of these things is not like the other. So the actual band is just 3 of us, obviously the 2 of us and then our drummer. But when actually that was a big conversation we had before recording the first album was, do we want to keep the sound true to what you would hear live, which is just the 3 of us, or do we want to try to like grow these songs into kind of something like new and different? And we decided on that, so we brought in a lot of other instruments, just to kind of
there's
make
like a string quartet on one song.
Horns, there's horns, there is a bass on the album.
And then we did a ton of auxiliary percussion, like vibes and marimba and stuff, because our drummer at the time had access to like this recording space that had a ton of stuff, and so we just did everything. So it kind of sounds a little bit like Tubular Bells by Michael.
And we recorded with Todd Mackey at Dragonfly Studios in Boardman.
He's the man.
He's like really, the secret 4th member of the band, actually.
He's like the George Martin, if you're familiar with George Martin and the Beatles. I mean, he really is like our George Martin.
He's amazing.
I mean, pretty much any idea that if you listen to our album and are like, ooh, I really like that, it was probably Todd's idea.
Probably Todd.
you know, unless it was, you
He
know,
contributes a lot
yeah, a lot
to
of
the
stuff,
process
you
as
know.
well. Now that I'm older, now that I'm older, now that I'm older, now that I'm older.
Our next show coming up, super excited about it. It's on February 8th at Suzie's from 9 to midnight. We're going to be playing, we're opening for Frank Tonkar, who's a really pretty good friend of mine, great, unbelievable multi-instrumentalist and musician and songwriter. He's releasing an EP, so he's going to be on the bill. We're going on before him, and then another band that's really good, very good friends, is going to be playing before us. Really awesome.
And it's our
February
first
8th.
time playing since August
Yeah.
of last year.
We've been rehearsing a lot though, so we won't suck, I promise.
Yeah. Money left over, money left over, money left over, money left over, money left over.
That was awesome.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. True art comes from pain, and that song came from pain. So yeah,
It
thank you.